we've got a full moon in Gemini coming in, the sign of the twins, and this one's going to be spicy. Here's why. All right, everyone, it's time we chat about this upcoming full moon in Gemini. It's happening on December 7th, and it is occurring in an exact conjunction with Mars retrograde. So I don't know about you, but this Mars retrograde has kind of been wrecking my life a little bit. It's in my 12th house, so it's just been none of it I've been seeking out. It's just a lot of stuff coming up. So think about where your Gemini house is. Think about how this Mars retrograde has been for you. And if you're kind of not sure, go back and check out my Mars retrograde videos. I've done a few of them, and like the Mars square Neptune one. And I also have an article on my website detailing renovations in the Gemini house, because there has been a lot going on in this sector of our charts since 2020. A lot. Eclipses, retrogrades, you name it. So there's just been a lot that has been coming up and sort of being rearranged in this house. And Gemini is a sign that likes to keep things interesting anyway, so it's kind of okay with it. And as long as we're learning something, right? As long as we're learning. So maybe you, like me, are kind of like, well, I've seen this stuff before, but what am I supposed to learn from it? Well, this full moon is here to help, because not only is this full moon in Gemini exactly conjunct Mars retrograde, sort of highlighting and illuminating this whole journey, but this also means that Mars is exactly opposite the sun in the sky. And this means that this is halfway through Mars's synodic cycle, which is a cycle that any planet and every planet has with the sun. So the lunar cycle is about a month. All the other planets have their own synodic cycle. But this is a really potent point in the Mars retrograde journey, because this is like a full moon for our Mars retrograde anyways. It's just a bonus that we get this full moon right on top of it that helps illuminate it even more for us. So this is kind of cool, because we're going to be getting so much awareness about what this Mars retrograde journey has been about for us. And I know I've been reading your comments. I always do. And a lot of people have just been feeling the Neptune, the disorientation, the confusion, scattering the energy, feeling spacey, feeling sleepy, feeling tired. I did a poll on Twitter too. A lot of people are feeling exhausted, totally wiped out from this Mars retrograde. But a lot of people are feeling that and also energized. One person said, I'm feeling like really annoyed, like I'm feeling really hyped up and angry that I don't have energy. So it sounds like people are going to extremes of like, I have the energy, I'm putting in like a Herculean effort kind of day, and then I'm just wiped out for a couple days. And a lot of people have been feeling that. So yeah, this Mars retrograde has sort of been scattering our energy, scattering our focus. But what it's also doing is it's bringing in diversity. It's bringing in a different flow. It's shaking it up a little bit. And it is for me, and I'm not like the most excited about it, but like with Neptune, the Neptunian component, you kind of got to surrender. You kind of don't really have a choice right now, and we'll figure it out later. And that later point might be now. A lot of people at this full moon point are going to get a big aha of, oh, that's what this is about, or this is what I want to do moving forward. A lot of times this Mars retrograde journey is about figuring out how to find our edge, or how to find our spark, or how to reignite the passion, or how to get clear on going forward in a new direction. So a lot of times at this full moon, we'll start to get that answer. We'll start to get that clarity. And what helps with that is that this full moon is ruled by Mercury, who is just ingressed into Capricorn. We talked about this in my last video, Mercury moving into Capricorn. This is going to help us really sort out a lot of this Mars retrograde stuff, because Mars retrograde is now ruled by Mercury in Capricorn. Mercury's going to stay in Capricorn through February 11th. Mars is going to be in Gemini through the end of March. So for the next like 2 months, Mercury Capricorn is going to be helping us sort a lot of stuff out. It's going to be helping Mars to not get distracted, to not get sidetracked, and to kind of take all the inspiration that's churned up for us, all the new information that's churned up for us over the last couple months, and help us sort it out. So it's kind of nice. I kind of love this actually. So this full moon will be like our first flavor, our first introduction to that. So we're going to start getting the answers. We're going to start getting the clarity. We're going to start getting the perspective on the chaotic nonsense that's all been kicked up for us since the end. Well, Mars station retrograde at the end of October, but Mars entered Gemini, I want to say at the end of August. I could be wrong on that, so don't quote me. But we've been working with Mars and Gemini for a while. So anyways, I'm looking forward to this full moon. It's kind of in a wide square to Neptune, but we're already aware of that Neptunian influence on the Mars retrograde. So other than that, that's kind of it. So I hope that this clarity starts to seep in for you. And I hope that this full moon is really beautiful for you in that regard. The other thing I do have to say though, is that this is a full moon conjunct Mars. Okay. Even though Mars is retrograde, it's a little funky. It's a little hard, a little bit more unpredictable in terms of what it can do. But a full moon conjunct Mars is a little spicy. It could be a little rambunctious. It could be, a little feisty, but it could be playful though. The sun's in Sag, Mars is in Gemini, the moon is in Gemini. It could be playful, but this could be a really feisty one. So you want to watch out that we don't take the jokes a little too far, for example. And I bet there will be people taking it too far with this full moon. So, just something to be aware of as you're out in the world. But for right now, that is your astrology shot of the day, and I'll catch you next time. Bye. Thanks for tuning in with me today. For more astrology in your world, you can connect with me on all platforms at Astro Catherine. You can also find me at catherineurban.com, where you can book your one-on-one consultation and get insights for your chart for the year ahead.